Okay, let's talk about the different signs and indications that you are a highly sensitive person, also known as an HSP. I myself have been considering myself an HSP for a number of years now. As a career coach, I work with a lot of HSPs who are looking to change their career. And as a side note, if you're feeling lost or stuck in your career and interested in a career change or discovering your purpose, you can visit adamhardt.com to learn about my services or click on the link in the description to book a free career clarity call. So, with that being said, I've got a lot of experience with this firsthand that I'd like to share with you, in addition to a lot of research about these different HSP traits. So, for one thing, if you're an HSP, it's important to know that you're not alone. However, you may have been feeling like you're different, and you may have grown up feeling alone, because the truth is 20% of the population is understood to be highly sensitive. So yes, you are in the minority, but you're in good company. 20% is still a good chunk of people. So there's a lot of other people like you that are out there. But in recognizing that 80% of the population is not considered to be highly sensitive, it means that you've been living in a world that's dominated by people who don't have these kinds of experiences. Now, what are these experiences that I'm referring to? Well, heightened sensitivity, as the name suggests. It's not a bad thing. It doesn't mean that you're weak. It doesn't mean that you're defective or any of these things. It means that your nervous system is tuned differently than most people. This is for evolutionary purposes. It's present in animals too. So if you think about it, in terms of the survival of any species, we're all on the lookout for predators. And so it's important to have members of the tribe that are going to hear the sticks breaking in the woods, who can then alert everyone else and take action accordingly. So that is one theory for why HSPs exist, and it starts to paint a picture of the HSP as playing an important role in society. Because being an HSP means that you're picking up on a lot more sensory information than everybody else. So through all of your five senses, your hearing, your eyesight, your tactile touch, and sense of smell is all heightened. You're picking up these things much more easily. So there are these obvious benefits, right? You can be the one to alert the tribe in this more primitive sort of idea here. But it also means that you're the person that's going to be picking up on the nuances of architecture, of music, of code in an engineering environment, of whatever. You're picking up on the details. You're noticing the subtle cues present in the world. And so this can be helpful in your career if you need to be very present to different changes of this or of that. You could be in a position to thrive in a technical career based on this. You're also in a position to thrive in careers where you're going to be working directly with people. Because the other thing about being highly sensitive, it also overlaps with this other term of being an empath, because your emotional intelligence is that much greater. You're picking up on so many more cues than the average person. You're picking up on body language, tone of voice, you're picking up on just the word choice that somebody might be using, or just their overall energy. What kind of energy is somebody giving off? You're more likely to pick that up. So that can lead to greater emotional attunement. You're likely someone that people have turned to at times when they're looking for someone who they can just talk to, and you can just listen and be that compassionate, loving presence, because HSPs tend to be much more compassionate than the average person. You're understanding what's going on for this other person. Once you have this keen understanding of their emotional state, you're going to have an experience of that yourself that will mirror their state. This is what the empath experience is all about, and you're going to be able to literally feel their pain. So this is also where we can start to understand that it's not all sunshine and rainbows to have these abilities. It's a blessing, and it can feel like a curse. I wouldn't say that it's a curse. It just means that you need to learn how to navigate life more effectively. I've recorded a couple videos on the topic, which I would suggest watching if you haven't yet, because as an HSP, you can't just go with the flow like everybody else. You can't just live life per the status quo, because your way of operating in the world is going to be unique, and the world is not tailored for you. I grew up in the United States, where a lot of environments are very noisy and overstimulating, and too many bright lights and chaotic experiences. The average person was not getting fazed by that, but I was. And the problem was that I wasn't even aware that I was being fazed by that. It took me until my mid-30s, I think, until I finally started to become familiar with this term HSP, and I'm 40 now, so it's still a relatively new thing, although I feel like I've become very skillful in that time, because you are experiencing life differently. You're feeling much more intensely. Your emotional experiences are turned up. So any stimulus that would affect somebody, the average person, just a little bit, it's affecting you a lot. So, for example, violence on TV is going to be more impactful to you than the average person. It's more important for you to spend time in nature. It's more important for you to seek peace and harmony in your environment, because your heightened nervous system is going to be more easily maxed out. So, based on these aspects, just ask yourself, is this my experience? Has this been true for me? And be prepared to be a little bit surprised. It's funny to me how when I meet somebody and I can spot, very quickly if they're very likely to be highly sensitive. I was working, but they're not, right? They haven't understood that yet. I started working with a new client recently, actually 4 clients that same sort of a thing. I asked each one of them, like, hey, do you think that you're a highly sensitive person? Do you identify with this trait or quality? And each one of them was like, I'm not really sure. What is that? And so I educated them on this, and then they all came around and realized, oh my God, I do believe that this is my experience. So it's possible for you to be having had these experiences your whole life, but not being fully aware of it. You might just be thinking this whole time that there's something wrong with you, and you might have just been investing all this time and energy to try and just fit in, when in truth, you are just designed differently. So consider that. Take some time to just reflect and think, am I someone that can pick up on other people's emotions pretty easily? Am I someone that people just naturally gravitate to when they need someone to hold space for them? Am I someone that experiences emotions more intensely? Am I someone who is capable of processing information on a deeper level? This is another quality and superpower of HSPs, is that if you are taking in that much more information than the average person, then that means your brain has also gotten used to doing something with this information, organizing it, sifting it, sorting it, making sense of it. So you can process information much deeper than a lot of people. It also means that you have a rich internal life. You know, doesn't mean that you're an introvert. The studies have shown that there are quite a few HSPs that are extroverted. I can't remember if it's, half and half or whatever, but it's not overwhelming that they're all introverted. But all HSPs are likely to have a rich internal world because of this deep processing, highly emotional experience. You're likely to have an imagination that's able to just kind of, do interesting things when you're feeling bored. I know I do it all the time. So that's what I want to share with you guys. These are the telltale signs that you are an HSP. And if you are and you'd like to get help on navigating life more skillfully, check out my other 2 videos. If you are feeling stuck in your career and you'd like to determine a career that is perfectly designed for you as an HSP, just go ahead and visit my website, adamhardt.com, or schedule a free career clarity call to learn more. Otherwise, like this video if you found this helpful. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like more free content on how to thrive as an HSP. Thank you so much.